welcome to Homeschooling with Hera. Hope you all are doing great. In today's video, we shall learn about verb conjugation, and this video is good for you if you are a homeschooling parent, a teacher, or a senior grades student but wants to learn English grammar in detail. So let's see what are our learning objectives today. First of all, we shall see that what is verb conjugation. The second objective will be to learn about when should we teach this to our kids. Next, why should we teach this to our kids? The most important thing, how should we teach this to our kids? Because English grammar is such a dry and boring subject if you teach it with the conventional methods. So in today's video, I'll give you some multi-sensory techniques or games or activities which you can play in your class to help kids learn verb conjugation. At last, we will learn that how does verb conjugation help in written and spoken English. Yes, it helps us in written and spoken English. So if this is something that intrigues you, be with me to the end of the video. And without further ado, let's dive in. So first of all, let's see that what is verb conjugation. You must have seen a reel in which someone says, I dance, you dance, we dance, they dance, but he dances. Why he dances? Does he dance more than we all? Something like this, right? So this is what we call verb conjugation, and it's nothing but English grammar. Now let's see that how it works. If you have the pronouns I, we, you, and they, first person pronouns, second person pronoun, and third person plural, the verb that you will use after them will be written without an S or ES. For example, I run, we run, you run, they run. But if your pronouns are third person singular, for example, he, she, and it, or any other third person, may it be my sister, my friend, or an animal, the ostrich, you will add an S or ES to the verb. In higher grades, this is called subject-verb agreement. And to teach this subject-verb agreement to kids in foundation stages, we teach them verb conjugation. Verb conjugation is not only useful in the present simple tense, but we also need it in the other tenses. For example, the continuous tense. It can be present continuous, I am running, but you are running, and he, she, it is running. The helping verb is changing according to the subject of the sentence. If you look at the past continuous, so with I, he, she, and it, we use the past form of be verb or simply was. And with you and they, which are the plural pronouns, we use the verb were. Verb conjugation can also be done with perfect tenses. For example, he, she, it has been running. This is perfect continuous. I, you, they have been running. This is also perfect continuous. And we can also say I, you, they had been running. Had will come with all of them. He, she, it, I, you, we, they. For past perfect continuous, we will simply have had and then been running. So you can see that verb conjugation is helpful for us from grammar level 1 to the perfect tenses that we cover in grammar level 6. Now this was a little explanation about this concept. Now let's see a proper definition of verb conjugation. We don't teach this definition to kids, but it's for you as teachers and parents. Verb conjugation means changing a verb so it works in your sentence. More specifically, it means changing a verb so your audience knows who is performing the action, when it happens, and whether it is completed or ongoing. In these lines, we have said that verb conjugation is all about English tenses. Who is performing the action will tell us about our subject, whether he is a singular person, male, singular, female, or anybody else, because we keep our pronouns according to our verb, or we keep our verbs according to our pronouns. We also talk about when the action is happening. Is it in present? Is it in past? Or is it in future? Verb conjugation also help us to see whether the action is completed. For example, I have done something, the action is finished, or I ate an apple, the action is done. So all these things can be understood with the help of verb conjugation. But we are not going to teach this definition anyways to our kids. Then how to teach them? You will learn it shortly. Let's check out our second learning objective now. When should we teach verb conjugation? Now we know that what is verb conjugation. Let's talk about what is the right age. So if you want to teach verb conjugation to your kids, start at level 1 of English grammar. Now your level 1 can start at kindergarten. If your school begins it like at the age of 5 to 6, so verb conjugation will come at this stage. Or if your grammar is starting in grade 1, that is the age 6 to 7, so the verb conjugation will be here. But remember that it will come in the very first year when you are teaching grammar to kids. Okay, so we start verb conjugation at level 1 of grammar because we have simple tenses at level 1: present simple, past simple, and future simple. For that we need verb conjugation. Now let's see that why should we teach verb conjugation to kids. So dear all, if English is not our first language, we may make mistakes in using verbs accurately with the subjects of the sentence, resulting in senseless sentences. For example, instead of saying he runs fast, we would end up saying he run fast. And this is a grammatically incorrect sentence. If you have your third person singular pronoun, we must have an s or es at the end of our verb. So to native speakers, this thing comes with their environment because it's their everyday language. They keep listening to it and they speak the same way. As well as when it comes to writing, they know that if they have to use the sound after he, she, it, so they write this s or es after the words as well. However, if English is not your first language or it is not in your environment, in your surrounding, especially for the kids, it's difficult to understand when they should put the S or ES, or it is a very common error that they miss the S or ES after third person singulars. That's why we need to train them with the help of verb conjugation so they don't make this basic mistake. And this is not only about S or ES, it is also about has and have. We know very well that we cannot use has with every pronoun nor have with every pronoun. So when to use which verb to teach our kids this, verb conjugation is a technique or a thing that we need to teach them, right? Now let's see the method of teaching verb conjugation to kids. This is the most important part, right? So how should we teach it to our kindergartners or first grader? Remember that we always need a system to teach anything. If you want to go to the third or fourth step, you should have climbed these steps, right? So the first step that should be taken when you are teaching verb conjugation to your kids is to teach them pronouns really very well, and preferably with the actions and color code. Don't forget that I'm talking about kids who are 6 to 7 years old or 7 to 8. So to them, this multisensory way of associating actions with parts of speech as well as colors with parts of speech really works. Please check out the description box. There I will link a video which will take you to the video of pronouns and how to teach pronouns to kids. Once you are done with pronouns and once the kids know 8 personal pronouns that are I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they, tell them that with third person singular, we must add s or es to our verbs. This will be an straightforward information to them, but to help them absorb it and to incarnate it in their mind, Here are a few activities that I'm sharing with you. The first activity is tongue twister with actions. These are the action of personal pronouns that you have to teach before verb conjugation. Next, what they have to do, that take any simple verb, conjugate it with their help on the board or in their notebooks, and then tell them who can say these things just like a tongue twister. For example, I eat, you eat, he eats, she eats, it eats, we eat, you eat, they eat. Can anyone say it like me or faster than me? Challenge them. And once you bring the play in your class, you will see that everybody would want to participate. Now, what is the objective? Why we are doing this activity? This is because we want to train their tongues to say the sound after he, she, and it. We are not simply using their brain or memory power to remember that with he, she, it, they need to use s or es, but we are training their tongue so without even thinking, whenever they write he, she, it, they put an s or es after the verb that they are using. So let your students make their tongue twister with any verb, and then they can challenge each other. And remember, if they do these actions along with saying these words, they are not only using their brain memory to understand the concept or to remember it, but they are also using their muscular memory to understand and remember this concept. And let me tell you that in kids, the most radiant memory is the muscular memory. So if you really want them to remember something for a longer period of time, give them physical activities because they will help them in memorization as well. As I told you that along with present simple tense, you can go for the other tenses. I have written here the simple past and simple future because I'm talking about the very first level when you are introducing verb conjugation. You can do the same activity for continuous and perfect tenses as well. Okay. Now let's see another activity that is very simple, no time DIY. Here what you have to do, you need to have some slips on which you write the 8 personal pronouns and some slips on which you write some verbs. I have selected the colored papers here because the color for pronouns that we use in grammar, Montessori grammar or Jolly grammar, is pink, and the color for verbs is red. And now you can time them, tell them in 1 minute you have to sort out these verbs along with these pronouns. So if this is she, they will quickly try to find out something that has an s. She mops, he stops, it, we don't have anything. I haven't written it here, but you should have everything so your kids don't get confused or get annoyed. Let's go for they. So they jump, we hug, I sit. So in a minute, they need to sort out these things. And again, since it's a GBL approach, GBL means game-based learning. So it will literally help them to memorize this concept and to be perfect in verb conjugation. Now let's talk a little about that how verb conjugation will help kids in spoken and written English. I always say a thing because I have heard it from some senior teachers that if you can speak it, you can write it. So when it comes to writing, make sure that your kids can speak what they are writing. And for this reason, we are playing this tongue twister game. We are doing the sorting out activities. So this grammatical agreement between subject and verb etched in their mind, and when it comes to writing, they don't have to think a lot that which verb or which form of verb should I write after this subject. Hope this makes sense to you. If yes, so please leave a comment below. It will really help me to grow. And with this is the end of our today's video. I hope you have got something useful from it. If yes, so please hit the like button. If haven't subscribed, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you soon with something new. Take care. Bye for now. And don't forget to make it a great day. Bye.